Ah, family, imagine this. You've worked so hard all your life. You raise your children, even all alone. You pay your taxes regularly without missing any. And you even save some little money for your retirement to keep. Now, at 81 years old, you're finally living in peace. Then, one single phone call just destroyed everything you've labored for in your life. This is the story of Gladys, an elderly black woman who lost nearly her entire life saving to a scam. And sadly, her experience is not unique. It carries powerful lessons for Africans in the diaspora, especially our elders living abroad who must learn to protect themselves from fraudsters who are hiding behind the authorities. Grandma Gladys lives an ordinary life in Maryland. Like many elders, she trusted the system around her. That is her bank. She trusted her government. She trusted even her community. But scammers, they saw her as a perfect target. Huh? Because just one day like this, she received a phone call and the phone rang. But on the other end, a man introduced himself as a representative from the Social Security Administration in the US there. He told Gladys that, hmm, that she is in a serious problem, that her social security number had been compromised, and she need to act fast, even as a matter of ASAP. He warned Grandma that criminals were using her identity, and unless Grandma acted immediately, that her benefit could be suspended and her account could be frozen. Yeah? Who will hear this and will not be scared? Who will hear this and will not weary in his or her pants? Now, pause for a moment and think about that. Social security, eh? That is the lifeline for many elders in America. The thought of losing it instantly triggers fear. And the scammers, they knew this. So they capitalized on social security. And at the same time, they capitalized on the elderly one. Gladys asked question, but the caller on the other side always had already made answer for her. He even followed up with an email attaching an official looking document. Yeah, that even has a letter headed logo of US Supreme Court House. Yeah? To the untrained eye, this letter headed looks like something very real. But in reality, the US Supreme Court has no business with Social Security at all. To now make the matter worse, the document there had a lot of grammatical error. More than 40 errors were discovered in that letter when the private investigator stepped in and he was pointing out all the errors, and those are red flags. But at that moment when Gladys received that call, all she wanted was how to secure her social security. And Gladys, at that point, was not even analyzing any grammar at all. She was overwhelmed by fear. And she believed she was doing the right thing and even protecting herself and her family, because now she was even shaking and she doesn't even know what to do. The caller now told her, move your money immediately. And Gladys followed the instructions step by step, because the instruction there was so real that Gladys couldn't even change her mind. Gladys now initially transferred $36,000 to a company given to her by this scammer. And the name on that account was Yogri Trading Inc. Then again, this guy also asked for another $58,000, which Gladys gladly transferred to another account under the name of Shanghai WC Incorporation. That wasn't even enough. The scammer now told Grandma Gladys to package $15,000 cash, wrap it up in a newspaper, and at the same time put it in a shoe carton and post it via UPS to so address. Grandma did everything as instructed, not knowing that her money is walking away in her eye. My people, Grandma's wahala didn't end here at all. The fraudster even coached Grandma on what to say in case the bank feels suspicious. If the bank should ask you, he said, tell them that this money you're withdrawing is for business. That this money is even for a kind of emergency for family. That is, if they press you and if they want to stop you from withdrawing the money. The fraudster on the other side coaches Grandma and also lecture Grandma. So everything was so planned that Grandma also followed his instruction. And like many victims, Grandma was so embarrassed. Grandma didn't tell her children right away. Grandma kept hoping that she was doing the right thing at that time. And even that the stranger on the other phone there was truly had her best interest at heart. So Grandma kept everything solely to herself. Can you imagine? Can you believe that? Eh? But just one day like this, her son, Mr. Benjamin, overheard her mother, that is Grandma, on the phone. And Benjamin could hear the worry in her voice. And right away, Benjamin stepped in and stepped into that call and asked Grandma, who is on the other side there that you're talking to? Grandma, from what I'm hearing, it's like you're going to have a problem. Or maybe you're in a deep as we speak right now. Grandma looked up, looked down. That was when the truth came out and the bubble busted. But at this moment, it was too late for Grandma. Grandma's money was gone just like that. Her entire savings, almost $100,000, vanished into the thin air. Ah, today, Gladys faces the possibility of even losing her home because the mortgage is in trouble now. This is not just an American story at all. It's a woman angle story that we need to learn from. And for us Africans in the diaspora, please, hey, this carry a lot of heavy lessons for us here. And what are the lessons? First, scammers often target the elderly. Why? Because older generation were raised to respect the authority. If a caller claims to be from the government area or from the government environment, many elders nowadays don't even question it. They obey out of habit because they were brought up like that. Don't disobey the government. Not like the Gen Z. Second, education is not enough. Mama Gladys was well educated, sound one, but she has lived in the United States for decades as well. But fear is powerful. Fear is powerful, my brother. Fear makes even the smartest among us to forget, that we need to slow down, that we need to soft pedal. So when the fear comes, we do everything wada 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 wada, and later, ojuaja. Thirdly, isolation. Isolation makes elders vulnerable. Many Africans in the diaspora live all alone while their children are busy with work or even live in other states without someone nearby to double check the suspicious call that is coming into the elder's phone. Elders can easily be manipulated by all these scammers. And please, finally, let us talk about the bank themselves. Bank, they've got fault as well. Don't you think so? Because Gladys' son pointed out this. Gladys' son, Mr. Benjamin, said that banks have fraud prevention policy. But this policy is only on paper. But in practice and in reality, they often fail. Benjamin said, it's the fault of the bank. Because if a bank sees an 81-year-old woman suddenly wiring tens of thousands of dollars out straight from her account, which it has not been so before, that should raise a kind of red flag, an alarm bell, and the bank's supposed to put a pause, hold that account, or even stop any transaction that that comes in or that goes out from that account. But instead, they allow Grandma to transfer the money from her account. Of course, other people will say, that's Grandma's responsibility. But don't you think the bank should be liable for these things as well? The truth is, financial institutions still have a long way to go in preventing elders abuse, especially when it's come to all these fraud guys dipping their big hands into someone's account. So, what do we learn from Gladys' tragedy? Please. Let's talk and let's discuss about it. Eh? To me, I think the lesson one there now is that always verify. If someone calls you claiming to be from the Social Security, claiming to come from the IRS or even from your bank, please hang up immediately. Look up the official number yourself and call back, because real government agency, they don't threaten people. They will never order you around. Send it now, transfer it now, did it. No, they will not do that. They have been trained as professionals. Hmm? Lesson two here. Please talk to your family. Talk to them. Eh? Because elders in our community must never feel ashamed of themselves. If something doesn't sound right, please call your child or call your niece or even your nephew. Because two minds are stronger than one, and scammers thrive when elders feels alone. Lesson three, watch the red flags, my brother, my sister. Eh? Like bad grammar in an official document. That's a red flag. Even pressured acts immediately. Send it now. That's also a red flag. And requesting money to be moved secretly. Grandma. Eh? And instructing grandma to even lie to the banks as well. That's a red flag. Do not cran it up. Sending cash by post. Wrapping it up. Put it in a shoe carton. Grandma, you're supposed to know this now. That this is a red flag that you're being scammed. Lesson 4. Banks must do better. We need stronger protection for seniors. Our community must push banks to question unusual transfer and report suspected fraud in real times, not when everything don't dabaru finish. Now come again, go call police and private investigator here and there. No, none at all. Lesson 5. Share the warning. And that is to say, Gladys' story is very, very painful. I know that. But if we all share this video widely now, it may stop someone else from falling into the same trap. Don't you think so? My family, what happened to Gladys is heartbreaking. I know that. Because at 81, she should be enjoying her peace right now. In fact, she should be surrounded by families and grandkids and to secure her home. But instead, she's busy fighting to hold the little crumbs that remain in her account. It shouldn't be Gladys that should be seen in this situation, but her story should not be in vain. Let it be a wake-up call to all of us that fraudsters are always online. They are always on the phone. Even at the doorstep, what about your neighbor? Maybe he or she is even a fraudster. And while they may change their methods one way or the other, their goal is always the same: to exploit fear and steal what we worked and sweat for. So I ask you today, have this conversation with your parent. Call your grandmother. Talk to your uncle. Make sure that you even call your grandpapa. Yeah? And please, make sure you tell them all the tricks that you learned from this video. And most importantly, please remind them that no decision whatsoever about money must be taken without letting you know. Because when our elders are protected in our society, then our community will stay stronger. This is African Black Gold TV, where we share stories that protect, empower, and uplift the Africans diaspora. If you've seen something like this before, please share your thoughts in the comments. Together, let's keep our people safe. Till I see you guys in the next video, please and please subscribe.